If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Insanity is doing the same thing, over and over again, but expecting different results. Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to reform, or pause and reflect. The man who does not read has no advantage over the man who cannot read. Never put off till tomorrow what may be done day after tomorrow just as well. Classic, a book which people praise and don't read. I have never let my schooling interfere with my education. The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time. A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting on its shoes. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you, too, can become great. In a good bookroom you feel in some mysterious way that you are absorbing the wisdom contained in all the books through your skin, without even opening them. Substitute, damn. Every time you're inclined to write very, your editor will delete it and the writing will be just as it should be. Don't go around saying the world owes you a living. The world owes you nothing. It was here first. I did not attend his funeral, but I sent a nice letter saying I approved of it. God created war so that Americans would learn geography. I was gratified to be able to answer promptly, and I did. I said I didn't know. Never allow someone to be your priority while allowing yourself to be their option. The difference between the almost right word and the right word is really a large matter. 'Tis the difference between the lightning bug and the lightning. Loyalty to country always. Loyalty to government, when it deserves it. Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities. Truth isn't. Wrinkles should merely indicate where the smiles have been. Books are for people who wish they were somewhere else. What would men be without women? Scarce, sir. Mighty scarce. Sanity and happiness are an impossible combination. When I was a boy of 14, my father was so ignorant I could hardly stand to have the old man around. But when I got to be 21, I was astonished at how much the old man had learned in 7 years. Don't part with your illusions. When they are gone you may still exist, but you have ceased to live. Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and many of our people need it sorely on these accounts. Broad, wholesome, charitable views of men and things cannot be acquired by vegetating in one little corner of the earth all one's lifetime. Clothes make the man. Naked people have little or no influence on society. Everyone is a moon, and has a dark side which he never shows to anybody. You can't depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus. If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you read the newspaper, you're misinformed. Always do what is right. It will gratify half of mankind and astound the other. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Kindness is a language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. The trouble is not in dying for a friend, but in finding a friend worth dying for. The size of the dog in the fight that counts, but the fight in the dog that wins. I've lived through some terrible things in my life, some of which actually happened. Education. The path from cocky ignorance to miserable uncertainty. The best way to cheer yourself is to try to cheer someone else up. Name the greatest of all inventors. Accident. The easy confidence with which I know another man's religion as folly teaches me to suspect that my own is also. The worst loneliness is to not be comfortable with yourself. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence, then success is sure. The secret to getting ahead is getting started. History doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. Get your facts first, and then you can distort them as much as you please. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. When we remember we are all mad, the mysteries disappear and life stands explained. The human race has only one really effective weapon, and that is laughter. The dog is a gentleman. I hope to go to his heaven, not man's. Always acknowledge a fault. This will throw those in authority off their guard and give you an opportunity to commit more. Giving up smoking is the easiest thing in the world. I know because I've done it thousands of times. If voting made any difference, they wouldn't let us do it. I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which never happened. Eat a live frog first thing in the morning and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day. Reality can be beaten with enough imagination. I have a higher and grander standard of principle than George Washington. He could not lie. I can, but I won't. Education consists mainly of what we have unlearned. Part of the secret of success in life is to eat what you like and let the food fight it out inside. It is better to deserve honors and not have them than to have them and not deserve them. Action speaks louder than words, but not nearly as often. It's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. It's better to keep your mouth shut and appear stupid than open it and remove all doubt. My books are water, those of the great geniuses as wine. Everybody drinks water. Never argue with an idiot. They will only bring you down to their level and beat you with experience. There was never yet an uninteresting life. Such a thing as an impossibility. Inside of the dullest exterior there is a drama, a comedy, and a tragedy. It takes your enemy and your friend, working together, to hurt you to the heart. The one to slander you and the other to get the news to you. In the beginning of a change the patriot is a scarce man, and brave, and hated and scorned. When his cause succeeds, the timid join him, for then it costs nothing to be a patriot. The right word may be effective, but no word was ever as effective as a rightly timed pause. The more I learn about people, the more I like my dog. Man is the only animal that blushes. Or needs to. Obscurity and incompetence, that is the life that is best worth living. Worrying is like paying a debt you don't owe. Thunder is good, thunder is impressive, but it is lightning that does the work. A half-truth is the most cowardly of lies. Politicians and diapers must be changed often, and for the same reason. In the first place, God made idiots. This was for practice. Then he made politicians. There's one way to find out if a man is honest. Ask him. If he says yes, you know he's crooked. Why do you sit there looking like an envelope without any address on it? A person that started in to carry a cat home by the tail was getting knowledge that was always going to be useful to him, and wasn't ever going to grow dim or doubtful. Never argue with a fool. Onlookers may not be able to tell the difference. Be good and you will be lonesome. There isn't time, so brief is life, for bickerings, apologies, heartburnings, callings to account. There is only time for loving, and but an instant, so to speak, for that. When you fish for love, bait with your heart, not your brain. Let us live so that when we come to die, even the undertaker will be sorry. Patriotism is supporting your country all the time and your government when it deserves it. Now and then we had a hope that if we lived and were good, God would permit us to be pirates. Let us be thankful for the fools. But for them the rest of us could not succeed. A successful book is not made of what is in it, but what is left out of it. I thoroughly disapprove of duels. If a man should challenge me, I would take him kindly and forgivingly by the hand and lead him to a quiet place and kill him. Life does not consist mainly, or even largely, of facts or happenings. It consists mainly of the storm of thoughts that is forever flowing through one's head. When I was younger, I could remember anything, whether it had happened or not, but my faculties are decaying now. And soon I shall be. So I cannot remember any but the things that never happened. It is sad to go to pieces like this. But we all have to do it. The fact that man knows right from wrong proves his intellectual superiority to the other creatures. But the fact that he can do wrong proves his moral inferiority to any creatures that cannot. The reports of my death are greatly exaggerated. Comparison is the death of joy. Censorship is telling a man he can't have a steak just because a baby can't chew it. That is just the way with some people. They get down on a thing when they don't know nothing about it. Training is everything. The peach was once a bitter almond. Cauliflower is nothing but cabbage with a college education. Writing is easy. All you have to do is cross out the wrong words. Often it does seem such a pity that Noah and his party did not miss the boat. Too much of anything is bad, but too much good whiskey is barely enough. The government is merely a servant, merely a temporary servant. It cannot be its prerogative to determine what is right and what is wrong, and decide who is a patriot and who isn't. Its function is to obey orders, not originate them. He who asks is a fool for 5 minutes, but he who does not ask remains a fool forever. Human beings can be awful cruel to one another. The man who is a pessimist before 48 knows too much. If he is an optimist after it, he knows too little. Write without pay until somebody offers to pay. A man cannot be comfortable without his own approval. When I am king, they shall not have bread and shelter only, but also teachings out of books, for a full belly is little worth where the mind is starved. Good judgment is the result of experience, and experience the result of bad judgment. It is by the goodness of God that in our country we have those 3 unspeakably precious things: freedom of speech, freedom of conscience, and the prudence never to practice either of them. When red-headed people are above a certain social grade, their hair is auburn. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. The secret of getting started is breaking your complex, overwhelming tasks into small, manageable tasks, and starting on the first one. Noise proves nothing. Often a hen who has laid an egg cackles as if she had laid an asteroid. Don't wake up a woman in love. Let her dream, so that she does not weep when she returns to her bitter reality. Why not go out on a limb? Isn't that where the fruit is? Age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. I am an old man and have known a great many troubles, but most of them have never happened. Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness. A home without a cat, and a well-fed, well-petted and properly revered cat, may be a perfect home, perhaps, but how can it prove title? When a man loves cats, I am his friend and comrade, without further introduction. Don't you know what that is? It's spring fever. That is what the name of it is. And when you've got it, you want. Oh, you don't quite know what it is. You do want. But it just fairly makes your heart ache. You want it so. Write what you know. Humor is mankind's greatest blessing. The less there is to justify a traditional custom, the harder it is to get rid of it. Facts are stubborn things, but statistics are pliable.